Hey folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. Today I'm talking about something that just happened to myself and my daughter. Several months ago, my daughter hit something in the road and had some damage to her vehicle. She called State Farm, but she didn't get to it right away. I already jumped on her for that. All right, we go to the dealership, Napleton Kia, right? Because she's got a 22 Sportage that we bought from them new, 22. All right. So the guy says, okay, we're going to do this, and we're dealing with a guy named Pete. And I don't know Pete. Pete doesn't seem that squared away to me, but that's who we're dealing with, Pete. All right. So Pete says, okay, I got to send it to the insurance. And then we go back, and like months are going by, and we're like, he goes, oh, well, the insurance hasn't approved it. I'm like, insurance? I call State Farm. I can't see this. I call State Farm, and State Farm's like, yeah, we sent them the paperwork. So anyway, I go, Pete, do you have the parts? Oh yeah, we got to order the parts. Pete, once you have the parts brought in, we're going to drop the car off. How long will it take once you have the parts? It'll take 2 to 3 days, Mr. Foley and Natalia. Okay. Drop it off on a Sunday so we would have it first thing Monday morning. Told them on Thursday or Friday, we will leave it with you on Sunday. Thursday comes by, no call. Wednesday, my daughter's calling on Thursday, no call. I call on Friday. Oh, there's a delay, da-da-da. Okay, now what do I do? Now I'm going, you told me 3 or 4 days, dude. I mean, technically you told me 3 days, and you said maximum 4, and we dropped it off on Sunday. We should have it Thursday, Friday the latest. I go down there. Car's apart, so I can't take the car. I go, look, dude, I'll just take the car and go to another place. Like, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I expect the same. Well, now I go down there, half the friggin' car's apart. Like the whole front end of the car is dismantled. Like, well, if you have it dismantled, did you already have the parts? Oh, well, we got a part in, it wasn't the right part. And oh, we got a part in, it was broken. Possible, but shady. And you know why I thought it was shady, folks? Because he told me that he was changing the emblem that said Kia, but there was zero damage. I mean, the car's only got 30,000 miles or whatever, right? There's no damage on it. The accident was from the lower bottom. So I'm like, what? So I thought that was shit. He's like, oh no, it's one whole piece and da-da-da. Okay. And he's billing the insurance company for it. But still, I question them. So anyway, a week, 3 to 4 days turns into a month. So here we are at the end of February, right? 2025. And I'm not kidding you. We started this in October of 24. But they've had the car for a month. They call us and tell us it's ready. The guy, Pete, comes out. He's like, yeah, sign here. I need you to pay. I go, hang on a second. Slow it down, Pete. I like to see the car first before I write you the check and give you the insurance money and give you my co-payment. So we go outside and I look at the car and I'm like, I instantly see scratches on what the new bumper is. I go, what's this, Pete? Oh, well, State Farm said no. So I looked at him and I go, Pete, you're telling me that State Farm said no, they fixed the other parts around it, but the part that's all scratched up and with paint off of it, they said no. I go, can you show me that request and you can show me that denial letter so I can call, right? I can call I can call State Farm. And the little guy's literally his hands like this, right? So then I go, Pete, let me show you underneath the car, because I got down on the ground, right? And I looked under the car, and the skid thing, thing that so stuff doesn't go up into your engine. I call it a skid plate. I don't know what it's technically called, right? And it says, but on my receipt it says skid plate replaced, and I'm like, brother, you want to get under there? So yeah, you could tell that he's kind of like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. You're telling me that you just fixed my daughter's car and that you have replaced all of these parts and you billed my insurance and you gave a supplement to my insurance and they've already paid you more money, and now I'm here to hand you another 2 G's. I want to know that you replaced it. So I show him this. He goes, oh, you're right. And then he goes, I'll be right back. He disappears for 20 minutes. Then he comes back. You could see he's going, I caught him, right? Or caught them. I don't know that. I can't say Pete did it. Pete might be the most honest guy in the world and just be the go-between. I have no idea about Pete, right? I think Pete needs to dot I's and cross T's better, right? Because if you say someone's car is done and you're the person who takes the car in, writes the estimate. Shouldn't you be the guy that checks it and makes sure everything's completed? So they put the car back together with all of my daughter's, not all, with a majority of my daughter's old parts. Yet they billed State Farm and me and my daughter. Well, State Farm and my daughter. They didn't bill me, right? For all these new parts. And then I'm like, that's not new. So then, what do? I have no alternative. I got to call PBSO. At first, Officer Garcia was like, this is civil matter. Officer Garcia, respectfully, like, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but this isn't civil. We're not disputing an amount here. I'm calling to report fraud, right? Insurance fraud, a felony, right? They are taking parts, using other parts, fake parts, used parts, original parts, and then billing for all new parts and not doing it. So I got him to come out. Officer Garcia was a nice guy. He had his body camera on. I explained to him the situation, and then it took him a minute because, you know, like I don't know that happens every day, but I don't know that it happens at dealerships, right? That's why you go to a dealership, because you always think like, hey, you know, Vito's Body Shop is going to scam and chop shop. Like, you know, that's why you go to the dealer. You always say, look, the dealer's going to warranty it. The dealer's squared away. They're going to replace what needs to be. It might cost more, but you go to the dealer, right? I mean, that's always been my thought. Anyway, meet with Officer Garcia. Pete's disappeared into the back somewhere, so I asked for the director/manager, and I talked to him, and then he tells me, yeah, I think this is just a misunderstanding. I think that the car shouldn't have been released. Like, the car's ready, right? The car is like, they put all the, like, he's trying to, now the guy, right? Like, he's trying, and he might be honest guy too. I don't know who's doing the scam, but someone at Napleton, and then Napleton, right? Like, sweep it under the rug. 6 of the parts, 6 guys, 6, right? 6 parts that are listed on my vehicle as being replaced were the original parts. And that was about over $1,000. So, am I crazy? Could it happen to you? Am I calling out Napleton Kia? And Napleton is a big company in Palm Beach County. I don't know where else they are, but I hope the owner sees this. I hope people go online and write reviews. I hope people go look at their parts and see what's going on. Because I'm telling you, you know, I should have been a detective. I have a nose for shadiness. Do I represent shady people? Yes. Do I make money doing it? Yes. Right? My job is to call out law enforcement, right? To show the mistakes that they made. But I don't want anyone to be shady. I don't want people to continue doing it. I'm sharing this because my daughter said, why are you going through all this? Like, just get our money back. No, you can't get your money back. You know why you can't get your money back? Because if I didn't pay him right then, guess what happens? They put a mechanics lien. I can't even get the car. My daughter's been without a car for a month already. I already paid $500 for a rental for 1 week. I'm not going to pay $2,000, right? Kids have friends, right? So, but if I didn't pay them, they wouldn't give me the car. So I just wanted to talk to the manager, go, hey, like, well, what do you want to take off? Because, you know, whether I take you to, you know, I already called the police. The police are here. They're interviewing your worker right now. And you know, we're going to end up in here. I said, all I'm going to do is take this car and take it to another body shop that I trust and say what parts were replaced, what parts weren't. And he's like, oh, 6. Then one of the other parts, he's going, I go, what's this part in the middle? And I'm asking him, you know, what the skid sheet is or whatever. He's like, oh, that's part of the lower bumper. And I go, can you show me on the diagram? So he showed me, he's like, that part? I go, yeah, okay. I go, well, what about that middle part? And I go, did you guys replace that? Now, I knew what the middle part was. The middle part was where the scratches were, and there was duct tape, and he already said that they said no, right? Pete said they said no. But what was on that sheet? He goes, yeah, it's right here. It was $275. And I go, Andy, or what's his name? Andy? I go, Andy, look, you charged for that. Did we charge? He goes back. I go, Pete, you know the part that was all scratched up that you said you asked for? Like, I'm going to call him out right there. I'm not scared to talk. And he goes, yeah, I go, it's on the sheet. He goes, no, it's not. And then the boss goes, yes, it is. And then he took another $275 off. So just so you know, I still had to pay like $1,330. The managers agreed for me to take it to another location. They'll have to buy the replacement parts. And then they're supposedly going to pay the labor. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't trust anybody at this point. The world is shady. I just never thought it would come from a dealership, but it does. Anyway, I'm attorney Roger Foley. If you had your car replaced at Napleton, I'm not suing them or anything like that, not yet. But check your property, check your car, make sure that they use the right parts and they didn't scam you. I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. Have a great day.